In this video, I'm going to show you how I turn this fat, dated, thrifted tie into a more modern, slim tie. Let's get started. Now, before you start this DIY tutorial, make sure that you have the items listed on the screen. So the first step is to lay your fat tie on a flat surface, then get your skinnier tie and place it on top of it. We're going to be using this as a template. As you can see, by comparing both ties, you would see that there is some excess fabric on the fat tie. Now this is what we want to get rid of. Once you estimated the size of the tie you're looking for, we're going to put our template tie to the side for a bit, and we're going to go straight into surgery. Next, you want to flip your fat tie to the other side, and with a pair of scissors or a seam ripper, you want to cut through the threading. You do not need to rip the threading all the way to the end of the tie, just enough to see, the blank canvas inside the tie. Once you're done ripping the thread, you can open the tie and take the end point out of its pocket. Now you can use any tie as your template as long as the tie is skinnier than the one that you are cutting. For me, I'm just using this canvas tie here that I just, took from a very old tie. And what you want to do here is align the tie, and once you have it perfectly aligned, you want to pin those two ties together. Once your tie is pinned and aligned, we're going to get a marker, and then we're going to create a stencil. As you can see, I am making my markings on where I'm going to cut using the template tie as my guide, and we're going to repeat that on both sides. Once we're done, you're going to take out your pin and get rid of your template tie, and now we start the cutting process. Once your tie is cut, you're going to take the end point of your tie, tuck it back into its pocket along with a pin so we can keep it in place. Now as you can see, there is the pre-folded line from the old size of the tie, and we need to fix that. Now we're going to adjust the fold of the fabric here because the fold right now, it's still way too wide, and we want to adjust it. We want to make it a slimmer tie. So what we're going to do is we're going to align the end of the canvas with the fabric, and as you guys can see here, I'm slowly aligning everything, and with an iron we're going to iron that line off, as well as creating a new fold. Once you've ironed out the old fold and created a new one, you will notice that there is some excess fabric just going way past the canvas. So what we're going to do is we're going to simply just trim it down a bit. So with a pair of scissors, just trim it down a little bit, just eyeball it. And as you can see, I am just starting with a little bit of fabric because we do not want a bulky tie. You want to repeat the same process on the other side as well. Get rid of the old fold and create a new fold, aligning everything with the canvas. Now before you seal this, one of the most important things to look for are the folds. Make sure that the folds are even here. You want to have a symmetrical tie at the end of this. This is something that I overlooked, and it just went terribly wrong. So make sure that the folds are even. Once you double checked everything, just pass the iron, make sure everything is sitting flat. Next, you are finally ready to seal this tie together. Now you have two options here. You could actually just sew it back together, or you could do what I'm doing here is I'm using some webbing tape, and this works just as well. It's going to keep it closed and sealed, and I'm just gently placing it under the fabric. Once again, double check that your tie is symmetrical before sealing the tie. This is very important. Once you're done with that, you're going to take your iron and apply heat so you can seal this tie together. So you can see what I'm doing right here, just gently pressing against the tie. So here I am again, applying the webbing tape to the end of the tie. And another important tip that I can give you is just apply this in increments. Don't do a whole straight, a a whole straight, you know, webbing all the way to the end of the tie. Just go, you know, slow, little by little. Go in like in 3 pieces. Start from the bottom, middle, and top. Now for the final step, we're gonna put the tag back on. Now I highly suggest you sew this thing back in, but if you want to use the adhesive, you could do that too, which is what I'm doing here. Putting it back together towards the end, and then I'm applying heat, and it holds up very well, guys. So there you have it, guys. You just turned a fat tie into a more modern, slimmer tie. You want to check that symmetry once again, and there you guys have it. Look at that. Look at that difference. But yeah, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please make sure to give me a like, and thank you guys for watching.